close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
So I already have my foundation on. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. I have been loving this lately, you guys. It's full coverage and I just really like it. So anyway, we're not going to go off on that. So we're going to go ahead and start out with highlighting. I like to highlight first just because it's kind of habit. There's really no rhyme or reason as to why I highlight first. I just like it. So I'm going to be using my NYX HD concealer to highlight today. I really like this concealer. It's a good drugstore concealer. I feel like a lot of concealers that are from the drugstore are really watery, kind of thin, and they don't give you a lot of coverage. But this one and the Maybelline Fit Me concealers, this one is the NYX HD, this one is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. They both give amazing drugstore coverage, so I really like those. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to highlight under my eyes, down the center of my forehead, down my nose, and on my Cupid's bow. And the reason why I do this is because we're going to want to draw light to those areas of our faces. So whenever you highlight, you're drawing light and attention to that part of your face. And whenever you contour, you're adding shadows, making it look smaller, and taking away attention from that area of your face. And so we're really going to want our under eyes to look very bright and very awake. And that will also help our cheekbones to look a little bit more prominent after we contour. And then on the forehead and down the nose and on the Cupid's bow, just to kind of even everything out, because if we just highlighted underneath our eyes, I mean, that wouldn't look even at all, and you'd be like, brr! And one of my tricks that I like to use when highlighting is to just remember triangles. So we're going to want to create a triangle. Sorry, my mirror's over here, so I'm going to be looking over here sometimes in the video. But we're going to want to create a triangle down our nose and across. We're just going to want to create a triangle there, so I'm going to go ahead and do that underneath our eye. This is going to really brighten up this whole area. It's also going to conceal any redness. As women, we tend to get really, really red around our noses, and so this will help conceal that. And then we're just going to kind of draw a triangle and fill that in with concealer under our eye. And we're going to take this back kind of far. See how that's kind of like a triangle shape? That's what we're going to do. Obviously, we're going to do that on the other side as well. And then I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to create another triangle on my forehead, which I usually don't create like an actual triangle. I just kind of slap it on. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be showing you kind of in triangles just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to create a triangle. We're going to go across, and then we're going to want to go down, because that's going to really even out our face and bring attention to the center of our face and make it look more youthful, more awake, and it will help with contouring later. And then I'm going to take this down my nose and on my Cupid's bow just to even everything out, so all of the center of our face is now highlighted. And normally I would like blend this in and then do my contouring, but I'm going to go ahead and leave all of the highlight and all of the contour on just so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Lately I have been absolutely loving cream contour. I just think it looks very natural, and it's honestly a little bit easier to work with than powder. A lot of people are really intimidated by cream contour because it just looks so intense, but it's really easy to blend away, and if you mess up, it's honestly easier to blend away than powder, I find. And so I'm going to be using my NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer, and this is in the shade Tan. It's quite a bit darker than my skin tone, and that's exactly what we want. And you don't have to go out and buy an expensive like Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit or, you know, these expensive palettes. You can just get a good highlighter and a good concealer, and these are both from NYX, and I think together this probably cost me like $12, and you can have a sculpted face with $12. So if you're worried about pricing or people are trying to sell you on super expensive stuff, like, never feel like you have to pay a ridiculous amount of money to look put together and to look good. But that's like a different rant that I have. So with contouring, it's the same thing. We're going to want to remember a triangle. And so whenever I'm doing other people's makeup and doing my own or explaining it to someone, I always explain it like this. So we're going to go from the middle of the ear See this little kind of like ridge in the middle of our ear? We're going to go from the middle of the ear down through the middle of the eye. That's really where we're going to want our contour to go. That line is going to go right down the middle of the ear through the middle of the eye. You're not going to want to go past the middle of the eye because that'll make your face look really pinched and older. So we're just going to want to keep that nice and in the middle. And then we're also going to want to, again, everything is always about evening out. Whenever you're contouring, highlighting, just make sure everything is even. And so you don't have it all in just one part of your face. It's all over. So we're going to want to take it up on our temple as well. And some people like to contour their nose. I will be showing you how to contour your nose today, but honestly, I don't think it's that necessary. My nose is already pretty slender, and so I don't really need to contour my nose, but I'll do it. I'll do it for y'all because I like you. So I'm going to take this concealer and I'm just going to dip in just a foundation brush. You can use your finger, honestly, if you want to. Like, it's your face. You know where your finger's been. Like, it's fine. Okay, so like I said, middle of the ear down through the middle of the eye, and we're just going to want to dot this. To just tap it down. What kind of accent was that? Tap it down. Get it together, girl. Okay, and then, like I said, I'm also going to take it on my temple just to even it out a little bit. So see, we have kind of that triangle right here. And then we also have a C. I'm a very visual person, and so if I like can see shapes or letters or, you know, something like that in my makeup, it kind of helps me remember where to put stuff. So that's why I'm using all of these like descriptive words like triangle and C, because it just kind of helps me to remember, and I think it simplifies it a little bit more. Okay, so now that we have that C that goes down, like I said, middle of the ear down to the middle of the eye, we're not going to want to go past that. I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other side. And I really like this concealer because it is super easy to blend out. Sometimes contour shades can be a little bit tough to blend out, but this is very blendable, very easy, and it's honestly not that heavy. I really love this contouring technique for the summertime because it doesn't feel like you have just a bunch of like stuff on your face. It kind of looks like it, but you don't, I promise. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to contour my nose, and you're just going to want to take it on the bridge of your nose down to this. Why do I keep saying down? Like, what accent is that? Where are you from today, Libby? Like, get it together. So you're just going to want to take it down from the bridge of your nose down to the tip of your nose. And a lot of people are really into that button nose look. And so if you really like that look, then you can kind of create a little tip right here at the point of your nose. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. There you go. And I have a double chin, like, and I have no shame in saying it, girl, I got a double chin, it's fine. But the good thing about contouring is we can totally take that away because we're going to be adding shadows to our face. And so if you have like, if you have a double chin like that, you can actually draw some, add some color on your jawline. Phone just went off, I'm so popular. Okay, so you're going to want to draw this along your jawline and then just take it down. Okay, and then you can also add a little bit under your lip if you want to, because it's going to look like your lip is so full it's actually casting a shadow on your face. Like, I'm basically Kylie Jenner, like, come on. So really quick before we blend all of this out, I'm going to reiterate the places that we're going to highlight and contour. So as you can see, we do have the triangle under our eyes to highlight. We have the triangle in the center of our forehead to highlight, down our nose on the Cupid's bow. And those are the places that we're really going to want to highlight. And then to contour, we have down the middle of the ear, down to the center of the eye, middle of the ear, center of the eye, up on the temples to even everything out. We have it down our nose to create a slimmer looking nose, under our lip just to create a pout, and then we also have it on our jawline to create a more defined jawline. So let's go ahead and blend all of this out. My weapon of choice when it comes to blending out my highlight is a beauty sponge. This is the beauty sponge that I use in all of my videos because I have yet to get a new one. I'm going to take this beauty sponge and I'm just going to start tapping in that concealer. And whenever you're tapping in your concealer, you're never going to want to just swipe. You're going to want to always be pressing. You're always going to want to press the product into your skin. That's going to prevent creasing. It's going to make it look more natural. And it's also going to help with soaking up any excess that you have. I'm never scared to go super crazy on the highlighter or the concealer, because I know that my beauty sponge will actually soak up any excess that I have. So we're going to want to be pressing this into our skin. We're going to want to be moving it back and forth so the concealer doesn't just get stuck going one way. And we're just going to blend this in. Okay, so now that I've blended in all of my concealer, I'm going to actually take a brush to blend out my contour. I find that when I'm using cream contour, I like using a brush because it actually makes it look a little bit more natural to me, and I just think it looks better. I prefer to have a brush using that. So my favorite brush to use when I'm blending out a cream contour, Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I love this brush. It's very dense and it's short, and so it's going to give you just a really nice blend. My mom needs me to look at a picture of a dress. Un momento, por favor. What was I saying? Okay. I really love this brush. It just blends it out flawlessly, makes it look very airbrushed and very natural. I want to stress, you can still have a dramatic contour without it being harsh. There's a difference between dramatic and harsh. So we're always going to want to blend everything out. And so what I like to do is when I'm blending this, I like to take circular motions, and I don't really grip it super hard and press in. I just kind of lightly go over it with circular motions. So that's what I'm going to do. And whenever you're blending out your contour, you're never going to want to blend down. You're always going to be pushing it up, because whenever you blend down, that totally defeats the purpose of creating that line higher up. Because whenever you blend down, it's just going to look muddy and it's not going to create that sharp cheekbone that we want. So just always make sure to be slightly pushing up. And then I'm just going to blend this out on my jawline. And then I'm just going to kind of press my brush. See how I'm kind of squeezing this? I'm just going to squeeze this and just lightly run that along the contour on my nose. Now that we have all of our creams and liquids all blended into our face, I mean, can you not tell a difference? Like how much more put together my face looks and how much more shape it has? Like, I mean, I can tell a difference, but you know, it's just me. I need to take a water break. So now we are going to set everything. I have to set everything on my face, and we're going to set everything because all of that hard work, all of that blending, all of that contouring is going to be thrown away if we don't lock it in. So just kind of think of powder as kind of like your top coat on your nail polish. You've done all that work on your nail polish, it's looking nice, you don't want it to move, so you're gonna slap some top coat on that and keep it nice and set. So I'm going to go in with a highlighting powder and a bronzer to set the parts of my face that I highlighted and bronzed. So for my highlighting powder, I'm going to take my Anastasia of Beverly Hills contour kit, and I'm going to be using the banana shade and the highlighter shade. And sometimes I will actually take this the shimmering highlight shade right here. I'll take that sometimes, but I'm not going to do that today because I just want it to be extra locked in. And There we go. Now okay. And if you start creasing really fast after you blend it all in, you can just really quick tap it in one more time and then set it really fast. I have to set fairly fast because my under eyes crease really bad. I have a ton of wrinkles under my eyes. So I'm just going to take this banana shade and this highlighting shade. You can honestly use a translucent powder if you're into baking, which I'm not going to make a video on baking because I don't really bake a whole lot. It's just, I didn't really get that into it. So if you are interested in baking, you can definitely just type that into your, you know, YouTube search bar and you will find, like, no joke, hundreds of videos on it. So I'm just going to set this and I'm going to be tapping and pressing into the skin. We're not just going to swipe across. We're always going to be pressing that product into our skin. And I'm using this e.l.f. blush brush. I don't know if you can see that. And I love this because it is tapered. It's perfect for under your eye. It can really get in all of those hard to reach places versus like something like this. There's no way you could set your under eye with a lot of precision with this brush, but with this one it really gets in there and will set it very nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and set the other eye. And then I'm going to want to take this everywhere else that we highlighted, so down my nose, on my forehead, on my cupid's bow. Okay, so now that we have set that, I am actually going to take a bronzer to set my contour. I'm going to be using MAC's Give Me Sun, and this is actually a mineralized skin finish. I love this. It is such a beautiful color. I'm not very tan. I don't really tan easily, and so I really love this color because it actually looks somewhat natural on my face as opposed to like a super, super dark bronzy color. I'm going to show you two different options on what you could take this on because honestly right now I can't decide what I want to take it on. So my two favorite options for this is either a fan brush. This is just a large fan brush from Morphe, and this is the E5 if you're wondering. I really love fan brushes for setting that contour. I think it just gets the job done really fast. And then my other favorite brush is the Morphe M523. I love this brush because it is not super dense, but it does give a nice amount of coverage. And so I think I'm going to just take it with the Morphe M523 today, and I'm just going to kind of dip this in, tap off the excess, and we're just going to go over where we cream contoured, again, to set it. Ooh, that temple needs to be blended out. To set it, and also to add just a little bit more definition, like a little bit, oh yeah, it's there, girl. You look good. And again, I'm not pressing hard into my face. I'm just lightly running it over my face just to set everything nicely. And then I will just run whatever is left on my brush down my nose. I don't want to put a whole bunch, just because, like I said, I'm really not into nose contouring. I think it's a little much sometimes, but that's just me. And then I'm just going to take it on that jawline that we contoured. Isn't this a cute face? Like, what? Yes. On that jawline and just drag it down. Down! What is with that? We're going to drag it down. Down. And then if you want to, you can go ahead and, like, bronze up this area of yourself. Kind of bronze it up because why not? I mean, why not? I'm like off center. I'm so sorry. I'm like, okay guys, so you're gonna want to like do this over here. What is wrong with me? Okay, and then I am going, I know this seems like a lot of powder, but I have to because I am a freak about setting my makeup. I'm actually going to go through with just a loose translucent powder and a really, really fluffy brush, and I'm just going to set kind of everything on my face again. I'm not going to set my under eye again just because that is pretty set in stone, but I'm just gonna take this really fluffy brush and just kind of like run this all over everything just to help set it a little bit more, also to help blend a little bit, just to give me a little bit of extra coverage because it is summer and I just like my face to be really, really set. I keep looking in the viewfinder, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm not usually like a huge narcissist, but I guess today I am. So now that we are finished with that part of highlighting and contouring, I'm going to add some blush really quick, and then we are going to go in with shimmer highlighter because it's my fave. It's hot. I don't know why I decided to wear a flannel during summer. Mostly because I didn't want to change. It probably like clashes with my background. It probably looks terrible, but Now we're gonna go in with one of my favorite things ever, which is shimmer highlight. And this will just add glow to your face. It'll add youthfulness to your face because right now my face is very matte. It's definitely not flat, but it is just kind of lifeless. There's no like bing to it. There's really no life to it. It's just kind of like blah. So we need to add some like excitement to that. So I'm going to be taking this Jaclyn Hill face palette, and one of my favorite techniques for shimmer highlighter is to layer two highlighters. So I like to put one on, and then in the center of the first one I will put a second one just to add some dimension to it. And whenever you're using shimmer highlighter, you're going to want to remember a C shape. So you're going to want to put it right on that cheekbone that we created. You're also going to want to take it up on your temple, and I like to put it over my eyebrow just to kind of give that a little bit more lift. And then you're basically going to put it everywhere that you put cream highlight. So down your nose, on your cupid's bow, a little bit on your forehead, and then I like to put it on the apples of my cheeks because, as you can see, I don't have blush on the apples of my cheeks because I don't want to look like a clown, but I don't like to leave that area blank. So I will add a little bit of shimmer to that just to give it some life. So I'm going to dip into Champagne Pop, and I'm using a Morphe M501 brush. I love this brush. I also love this little e.l.f. fan brush. It's very, very thin, kind of flimsy, and this works really, really well for applying highlighter too. And I'm just going to run this along that cheekbone right above my blush. Like hey! Do that, and then whatever is left of my brush, I'm going to just start dragging it up and over. So see, we're creating that C shape, up and over, blending as we go, and then I'm just going to take it over there, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and now I'm going to take that down my nose again. And on my cupid's bow. And you guys, I put a lot of highlighter on just because I like it and it's fun, and everyone always makes fun of me because I always have so much highlighter on. So if you're like, girl, that is extreme, like you don't have to put this much on, you can do like a quarter of this and you will be good to go. Okay, and then I am going to take a different color. I'm going to take Prosecco Pop, which is more of a gold. This is more of champagne. I'm going to take more of a gold color, and I'm just going to put that right in the center of that cheekbone highlight that we did, just to give it a little bit more dimension, because my face doesn't have enough dimension already. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a little bit of Champagne Pop and smile and just put that a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. Just to give those some life. And then I take my beauty sponge and I'm going to spray it with some setting spray. And then I am going to just blend all of that highlighter. I really like to tap it into my face and just kind of press it into my face so it doesn't look like powder sitting on my face. It looks like kind of like a glow from within type thing. Girl. Okay, so even though powder was the main setter of her makeup, I'm just going to spray some makeup setting spray on it just for like some insurance. Feels good because it's hot in here. So this is like refreshing. And then really quick while this is drying, I'm going to just one more time tap this all out. just to make sure everything's blended and nice. Okay guys, so that's gonna wrap up my highlighting and contouring video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some helpful hints and tricks to get you through it. I know contouring can be really scary when you first start makeup. It can be a little bit intimidating, and I really hope that this video kind of helped you make sense of it all and just kind of helped you out at all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. If you think about it. I just choked. It's Anne. Hello? Well, what am I doing? I don't even have any lip color on. Oh my goodness. Libby, get it together.